The Permabrew Tier 5 Alchemist just got one of the biggest buffs it has ever received. So the Permabrew Alchemist recently got a huge buff. This buff actually makes it a lot more viable in these game modes in which you either have limited cash generation, like for example Chimps mode, or maybe a game mode like Hard or Impossible where these prices are a little bit higher than usual. So the buff that the Permabrew Alchemist got is that now it is 20% cheaper. Yes, you heard that correctly. It is 20% cheaper. That is a huge price reduction. It went from $60,000 on medium mode to $48,000, but at the expense of its range getting capped. So essentially, whenever you upgrade to a Permabrew, what would happen is it would get a huge range benefit, and the reason for this is the fact that Ninja Q wanted the Permabrew to be able to buff a huge amount of towers and basically everything that surrounds it. So what they decided to do in update 44 is they were like, let's reduce the range a little bit, but let's reduce the price as well. And with the extra cash that the player gets, they should be buying a support Chinook to move the Permabrew Alchemist around. But now there's this question: what happens if you don't want to buy the Chinook and you just straight up want to have all of your towers that you want to alch buff just within the small range of the Alchemist anyways? So that's exactly what we're going to do today. And instead of buying these big, tier 5 towers to win, I actually wanted to do something different today. So what I want to do today is I want to buy a bunch of cheap towers that actually benefit immensely from getting the Permabrew buff. And you guys probably might have guessed what those towers are. It's going to be an overdrive spam. So we're not going for attack zone, we're just going to be buying like a million overdrives, as many as we can hit right here in this box. Okay, now this round is going to be an RNG fest because the AMD gets thrown at a random target. So let me have this Dark Monkey on strong. Let me buy the advanced intel for this sub and hope that this is going to be enough. We might even get the stronger acid just because the extra DPS might help. I mean, so far it's so good, but this is way too close for my liking. There's going to be one lead balloon left, and there we go. We have this thing. All right, so take a look at this. The placement on the tank and on the Alchemist was actually really good because we can fit a village, and this is perfect. So let me just try and find the pixel. It is just over here. And actually for these rainbows, I don't want to be buying the discounts. So let's get the Berserker Brew first. I want to be saving the Eti ability for round 36 as well. Let's see if this is going to be enough. It doesn't look like it's going to be. Okay, so let's try it like this. Let's get the Airburst darts going, and I think we might want to use the level 3 ability from Eti because I did want to save it for 36, but this doesn't look like it's happening without. So let me just use it, and then we're gonna think about 36 when it happens. Okay, so let's see how we do. Oh yeah, 36 is definitely leaking. This is not looking good. All right, it's gonna be the sub carry for these early on. So let me just get the triple guns like this. Let me just get some Dark Monkeys as spotters. So let's just get this round over with. Man, these early rounds are a little bit more difficult than I would have liked them to be. It's just that this setup, I mean, I guess the end game does make sense when you Permabrew a bunch of these small tags, but like just getting to that point seems to be really difficult at the start. Oh man, what a nightmare these lead balloons are for us. Let's go like this. Let's get something like a 101 sniper just because we're not dealing with the lead balloons. Our only lead popping power is this thing, the AMD, and just the Alchemist himself. And let's see if this is going to be enough for this round. So the only thing that we need to do is we need to just pop the lead balloons because they're blocking the projectiles from the sub, and I think that we have this thing. Yeah, there we go, finally. Alright, so for round 40, here's what I'm thinking. The overdrive doesn't get any benefit from the discount village, which we don't have, by the way, but I'm just saying. So because it doesn't get discounted, I thought we just might want to buy it just straight up just so we get some extra damage. So I'm actually spamming the purchase because we do have some rainbows incoming and we're not exactly dealing with them, it seems like. Let me just buy this thing. And I think that is gonna be it for round 40. We do have Eti's level 3 ability and we have $600. Guys, this is not enough money to beat the Moab probably. I'm gonna use the ability and hope this is enough. I mean, it popped in the range of the tag, but let's get the Perishing Potions on the Alchemist as well, which does add a little bit of extra damage versus Moab class balloons. So let's see if this is gonna make any difference. Alright, so let's try it like this. Let's get a 110 glue on strong. Let's see if we're gonna get lucky with these ceramics. I'm gonna summon these drones as soon as possible, and let's set all these drones on first, and hopefully we just glue a couple of ceramics. I mean, that's not even looking bad. I mean, this one has to be it, right? Oh my god, that was ridiculously close. This was like attempt number 15 or something like that, but the glue actually worked. I can't believe this thing. Okay, we know for a fact that we absolutely suck versus Moab class balloons, but the 40s have none of these guys. So let's get the setup going. First off, let's get the monkey commerce and let's just get the bigger radius so we can fit more of these guys in. And round 46, I bought 2 overdrives and I think it's time to upgrade the Alchemist a little bit. So let me get the Berserker Brew. If we get to the strongest stim plus 2 of these overdrives under a something like a 302 village, I think we're gonna be golden at least for the 50s. But look at what's happening with the ceramic balloons. I also had some trouble with the ceramics on 43, so let's actually see if the ceramics for 49 are gonna be an issue. Oh, and by the way, let me not forget the most important thing that you can give these tags, and that is extra pierce. So primary training plus 1 pierce and actually a little bit of extra range. Let me get the strongest stim and look at the price on the Permabrew, guys. 51,000, 51.8, and that's not even like not chill. that's very possible, especially on Chimps mode. Okay, so we did struggle versus the Moab around 40, so how are we gonna do versus this one? Let's see. 2 overdrives under an Alchemist, not even close. Exactly what you want to see. Oh my god, I know that the 50s are just gonna be a breeze now. Finally, it really took a minute to get the setup going, but we are doing very well. So Eddie's level 10, which is gonna be really nice for, you know, these beefy rounds, which you know for a fact that the overdrives cannot handle. Like for example, round 63, 58, shredding the ceramics, shredding the Moabs. Yeah, we're absolutely destroying the 50s. Let's see what's gonna happen on 63. Just a quick stop at the 45 Moabs on 62 before we watch 63. I don't think it's gonna be an issue, but yeah, there we go. So the one on the left side got defeated. How about the one coming from the top? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I didn't think there was gonna be an issue, but I just wanted to watch the 45 Moabs as well. But I do think that this round is legitimately gonna be an issue. So yeah, we're gonna have to use the UCAV at least. Alright, so let's go like this. As soon as these guys appear, let me use the UCAV and let's see how big of a difference this makes. So it does eat up at least one of the waves, and I'm gonna need it to eat up the second wave as well. Yeah, it disappears mid-wave, so we deal with this one kind of. Okay, so let's actually be patient with the UCV activation because we do want it lasting for at least the first 2 waves, and then we are gonna need to do something for the 3rd wave anyway. So I was thinking of just doing like this, getting the glue strike. So this is wave number 2. I really hope the UCV gets a couple of explosions off, and that's really close. Yes, we get it done. Okay, so we do have the 240 glue. This thing doesn't slow as much, but I guess it does a little bit extra damage, and it's gonna amplify the damage that these stacks do. So let's use the glue strike right now. And do we drone it up? No, absolutely not. There we go. We defended. Yeah, so glue strike, absolutely a monstrous combo with all of these stacks, as you guys probably know by now, but this delayed the Permabrew by a little bit. So the next few rounds are probably gonna be easy, but let's see if we can make it to the Permabrew before the 70s end, because that's where the real trouble starts. Okay, so let me use these abilities as early as possible. There are a lot of BFBs just stacked on top of each other. Let me use the glue strike onto this small balloon. So let's see if this is gonna be enough. That was a huge chunk of BFBs that we just defeated. Please tell me that we defeat this thing. We have absolutely no abilities. I hope there's not too many balloons inside. Oh my god, we take care of these guys, and now the last ones. Oh my god, that's so close. I think we have this actually. Yes, there we go. I mean, a little bit of an issue for 76, I guess, but I think we can manage this one actually. Okay, so let me try and solve the problems I'm creating for myself just because of this bad ability usage. So let me just go for something like a 042 Blade Maelstrom and hopefully use the ability if it comes off cooldown. It's gonna be really close. The guys are leaking from the top. I used the ability, but that wasn't enough. Okay, I just got a very cool idea though. Let me try it like this. Let's buy the primary mentoring onto the village because this thing gives a 10% cooldown reduction. Am I actually gonna save this entire run by buying the primary mentoring? It's gonna be ridiculous. I'm using the ability. I actually did. I can't believe this thing. And take a look at this absolutely beautiful timing. We're around 80 and we're missing $95 for the Permabrew. And again, if this thing was $13,000 more expensive, this run is just ending right here. So let's use all of the abilities because we do need to pop the ZOMG. Let me just use the glue strike as well. We do have the Maelstrom at the bottom just for these leftovers in case we need it. I'm gonna use it and bam, here we go. Finally, the new Permabrew is up and running. And now guys, finally, after so many rounds of waiting, it is time for us to start spamming overdrive. So the first one that I want to buy is I want to be buying them closer to a track, by the way. So let's go like this. We're also getting some of these upgrades for free, which is nice, like the tier 1s. Now let's see how these Permabrew overdrives do versus these free play rounds. We're gonna have some 45 BFBs. I am concerned about 45 balloons, by the way. I don't think that we're gonna do necessarily as good. Yeah, look at this thing. So the 45s are actually leaking. We don't have that many, overdrives on track as well. So that's, I guess, fine. We're gonna have a lot more in the future. Let me try and find the overdrive just like this. And this is gonna be probably the last one on the left side. And I'll try and fill up this box with as many of these guys as possible. But we have to be really careful of not overdoing it, actually. 4 ZOMGs. Do we take down 4 of these guys? Do we need to use an ability? Let's just see how strong these guys are. So 5 Permabrew overdrives. They're leaking balloons. Let me just use the glue strike, but this is probably not gonna be enough, right? I'm gonna use the UCAV. Hopefully it holds. Yeah, we do hold, but at what cost? Well, I guess at the cost of knowing that if this happens again, we're gonna lose. So let me just prepare for this thing. I saw a nice spot right here for a relentless glue, which is in range of the Permabrew as well. So let's go like this, set it on strong, and look at this guy's range. Yes, I think this thing is gonna help out a lot. And now let's see how we do versus UMGs. Oh yeah, so much better than last time. There we go. Let's keep buying our overdrives. I'm gonna have one more just like this. This guy's spot is really not gonna be good. And let's try and fit one more here on the right side. And I think we should probably stop. So we have just like a million overdrives already. Are we melting these BFVs? Yes, we absolutely are. So 91 taken care of, no problem. But we probably need to focus on buying some support towers actually. Alright, so deities incoming. Eti is level 19, so we get 4 drones, and then on the next level we get the Perma UCV, which is really nice, like a constant damage output. And it seems like these deities, they're not even moving. So as soon as they get covered by the relentless glue, they just start getting stunned and kept in place. Okay, so let's watch 94. I'm gonna use the UCV right now. I want to clean out these small balloons, and then let's see how we're gonna do versus the ZOMGs. When all these ZOMGs converge to the middle, I am gonna use the glue strike ability. So let's go like this, get some extra damage going, and I think maybe we want to use the drones. Actually, I don't mind using all the abilities right now because 95 has a little bit of a buffer before the deities appear, and I think, yes, this is gonna be enough for 94. Alright, so round 95 versus like 7 Permabrew overdrives. Let's see who wins. Deities are getting stunned, they are getting slowed, and actually the relentless glue slow, it's just for a tiny bit, like a fraction of a second, but it seems to be enough because it is keeping them in place. So this is what we want to have actually. We want to be keeping all these deities in just like this spot, which is like the pop zone. And yes, this setup is actually working versus deities. We did not need to get any extra slows, which means that we saved a little bit of money. I got just a huge swarm of balloons and actually 45s beneath them. Round 98 is definitely going to be one of the most difficult ones for sure. So let me just start stacking up a couple of these boomerangs. Let's go like this. Let me have like, I think I'm going to stop at 2 honestly. So this is the entire box here on the right getting filled with, it's actually all primary monkeys when you think about this, which are actually the ones that are carrying this run. So this is kind of sort of like a pseudo primary only run if you think about it without the Permabrew. And I actually do want to be going all out on this round. So I'm going to use the UCAV right now, and I think I'm just gonna wait for the drones for a second. I'm gonna activate the drones as soon as possible because I do want to get the cooldown back for the upcoming rounds. And then all of these boomerangs and all of these towers just going to town. Is this gonna be enough? Is the Pierce gonna be enough? Oh no, it's actually not enough. We're kind of leaking at the back line. Okay, so I'm gonna get a Sabo, and I'm actually going to be getting a couple of, actually I didn't need to buy the white hot spikes, but that's fine. Let's go like this. Let's buy 2 spike storms from around 100. So the plan for this round now is to use all of the abilities, well, with the exception of the spike storms, use all of these abilities when the ZMGs converge into a middle, into this pop zone. So I think the time is going to be about now. So let's use everything that we have. That's a lot of lag, but I think that this is the best shot that we have actually. So all these guys are getting popped. They are getting knocked back by the boomerangs, which are doing a good job actually, but they did get their PS reduced in the latest update, and I think that we succeeded. Oh my god, yes, I'm so happy that we got this round. Let me buy the spike storm really quick, and that's round 98. Okay, so we do have a little bit of a problem with round 99, I think, because these guys are 45 DTs. So either the relentless glue is gonna have to go to town, or these guys are leaking, and I do think that some of their small balloons are leaking. I'm using the blade maelstrom, just like a cope blade maelstrom at the back. Oh, it barely worked. Let's actually buy something like Cope spiked balls 310, and we are, I don't want to be using, guys, any of these spike storms, so I think that we're just gonna try and we're gonna get the glue strike. So I'm gonna use a glue strike right now. Hopefully we get as many of these deities as possible, and I'm gonna use like a Cope blade maelstrom at the back. Hopefully get something, and yes, we actually do get these guys. Yes. Oh my god, that's so good and so relieving, because our weird run, it actually might have worked. Let me just use all these abilities. The spike storms did do a decent amount of damage, but we still need to pop it, and yes, there we go. So let's use all these abilities, and let's just use the blade maelstrom for no reason. And there we go. Guys, this weird setup, it actually worked. This is ridiculous. But yeah, that's the new Permabrew, which I guess allows you to do strategies like this. Although the early game is a little bit difficult, or maybe I didn't pick the map, so maybe we can do it easier on a different map. So that's gonna be it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'm gonna see you on the next one.